Hey, what's up, you guys? It's me, LN Riggs, the Burnout Coach, and thank you so much for joining me this morning. For you guys that's catching a replay, welcome, welcome, welcome. For you guys that's driving on your way to work, wherever you're going this morning, some of you guys are working from home and you're tuning in at this moment. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. You didn't have to, but you did. So here's the thing for my people that's seated and ready to roll, grab your notebook, grab your pen, and let's get started. Sorry for my tardiness this morning. Was really trying to take down some last minute notes, and I was like, okay, I'm running behind. I got to get going. But I'm so glad that you are here with me and you continue to stick it out with me. Really quick, if you see my title is called Station Identification. Now, that just dropped in my spirit this morning. I had no idea where that had come from. And I was like, okay, God, what am I going to do with that? But one of the things I realized about station identification is this. I looked it up and I Googled it. I was like, what is that thing? It's talking about how radio stations identify themselves. All right. So if you ever heard, like, I'm from Detroit, so you'll hear WJOB FM 98, Detroit, right? And basically, they've given you their call numbers, which is a WJOB. You can Google it yourself when you get a chance. Then they tell you the station. They tell you where their I guess like where their frequency or whatever, where they're from, or where they're like airing from, which is FM. Then they give you their numbers, which is 98, and then they tell you where they are, which is exactly where they're located, which is Detroit, right? And so they give you everything to identify who they are. So the listener knows, if FCC knows, like everybody knows exactly who they are. So they identify themselves. And so when the station does this identification, they're pretty much within the realm of what they're supposed to do according to FCC, right? But one of the questions I have for you this morning is, do you know how to identify yourself? Do you know exactly who you are? I talked to you guys last week a little bit for my people that have side hustles, or you even have an idea about creating one. I spoke to you last week about making sure you have your foundation together. But I always tell people, before we can even get to your business foundation, we need to deal with your mind first. People are ready to launch. They want to do a lot of different things, but you're unable to identify who you are. So this is a little problem when you get ready to jumpstart into a business, because if you don't know who you are, you'll be whatever people say they want you to be. I've realized that throughout life, if you're not stable and have an actual inner core foundation first, then you're going to go with anything and any way that the wind blows. So I need for you to get your notebook out. I need you to grab your pen, or if you're driving, be safe and just listen to this replay when you get a second. One of the questions I have for you is, do you know who you are? Number one. Number two, who are you? You should be able to answer that in at least 30 seconds or less. You should be able to tell me who you are in so many words in a little bit of time. You shouldn't have to look around and say, it shouldn't be all of that, because at some point in your life, you should have taken a pit stop to actually ask yourself, to examine yourself, and to make sure that you know exactly who you are and who you've been created to be. Otherwise, you're created of everyone else's ideas and opinions. So what are we going to do today? Are you going to be able to identify yourself, or are you going to identify yourself according to what everyone else has said? God created you unique. He created you as the person he decided for you to be when you came here on the earth. You have an assignment here. You've been called to do some things, but the only way you're going to be able to execute and operate in that is if you know exactly who you are. Now, people might not like it. It may not be popular, but if you don't have a relationship with Christ, it's nothing I can help you with at this point, because you're going to go by whatever anyone says to you. I've come to realize one day, I was on the phone with my dad. Let me say this. I was on the phone with my dad one day, and it was about a job I had. And my dad said to me, he said, hey, I know you got to have a job. I get that. However, that position isn't you. You didn't go to school for this amount of years. You didn't, get these skills to do this. You are in this position, and that position is not you. You have a calling on your life, and that ain't it. And at first I was like, my daddy is tripping right now. I'm about to get off the phone. But when I did finish my conversation with him and I hung up from him, it was a reality check that I had allowed someone to create me into something that I was never called to do. God never called me to be that person. He never called me to be in that position. He called me to something greater. And I was like, well, God, why am I here? Why am I in this position? And he said, money. What you will realize is that a lot of times you're driven by money, and you stay because of money. And you stay because you feel as though if I don't stay committed to this particular area, I won't have the money that I need. Never do anything and allow yourself to be in a place because of money. Write that down when you get a chance. Money, yeah, we talk about all the time. Money is the root of all evil, Yeah, money is the answer to all things too. We know that the Bible says that, right? I get that. But what I'm saying to you is that some of you guys are being so driven by money that you're missing your total call. And then when you retire, you still feel a void as though you didn't do what you believe you were sitting here to this earth to do. Why? Because you kept driving yourself according to the dollars. Yeah, and I get it. You need money in order to pay bills. You need money to live. Yeah. But how about waking up, being happy, going to a job that you love? No, not giving everybody not going to a job that won't pay you your worth, but actually going to a job where you're going to get paid, or even having a business that you're going to work that's going to satisfy your calling, your gifting, who God created you to be. Listen, I'm a social worker. This is who I am. I help people. I develop people. I do human development, right? Personal development. This is who I am. This is who I've been called to be, right? I know this. I'm in my lane. And I'm happy, and sometimes I get frustrated with work, yes. Sometimes I get frustrated with my business, yes. But the thing is that I'm still committed to it, not because of the money, but I'm committed to it because I know this is my calling and this is what I've been called to do. What are you called to do? You wake up every morning and you just exist. You wake up every morning and you still haven't identified your purpose, who you are, why you're wired the way that you are. I was going to post something on Instagram, and I'm going to post it later. If you don't follow me on Instagram, go ahead and do so, because I'm going to start dropping some things about people who always say, I hate my job. I hear that all the time. I hate my job. And that right there is a trigger for me. Not a bad trigger, but a purpose trigger, because it triggers who I am and what I do to help people grow from where they are to where they need to be, which is why I'm here at 8 a.m. Okay. So I need for you to get that in your head. Who am I? Why was I created? Am I at this job just because of money? Am I selling this product? Am I creating this course just for money? Listen, let me tell you something. I said I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to go here right now. A lot of people want to be full-time entrepreneurs. I've been there, done that. I'm not saying it's not a great thing, but what I am saying is that you have to be ready. You need to plan, prepare, and you better know who you are. You better have that foundation intact, that inner core intact, that foundation. Because if you don't, you're going to let money drive you into a place of ugliness. Full-time entrepreneurship is great, but when the bills are due, you'll turn it to something really ugly in order to get the money to pay what needs to be paid. Am I saying I turned to that? Absolutely not. But what I am saying is, when I saw myself veering off, I was like, no, I had to have a pep talk. No, you don't do this for money. You do this because this is what you've been purposed to do. And I get it. You like, girl, you crazy. You were doing your business for money. Yeah, I made money in my business, but my purpose said I'm doing this because I want people to be better. So who are you? What were you created to do? Why are you here? Not just to exist. You need a moment of identification. How do you do that? Sit down somewhere. You're going to constantly hear me say this. Because if your mind isn't right, everything else, you can forget it. You're going to be robotic, and you're going to be whatever anyone has ever said that you are. You need to sit down. Shut the noise down, turn off the TV, shut social media down, go ahead and shut down the text messaging, over here making videos on Snap, trying to get some reels done on IG. Listen, it's all fun and games until they get ready to close the casket. There is no one in the graveyard that's popping back up talking about, oh, you know what? I get it now. This is what I was supposed to do. Nobody has that moment. Are you willing to live out your days just existing, or are you willing to live out your days working in your purpose, doing what God called you to do? Shut down the noise. That's number one. You got to get quiet. You got to get in your word. You got to get with God. You got to have a relationship. And a relationship with God, what I'm saying to you, people make it so hard, right? They act like you got to speak a tongue, turn in circles, drop 5 times, get back up again. Listen. He's our Father. He's better than our natural daddies, right? You go to him, and not on no foolishness. Don't become so common with God that you like you talking to one of your best friends and you on some foolishness, because he's still a great God, right? He's still the creator of the earth. He still created us as human beings. We go to him, we reverence him, we honor him, but we do have a conversation with him like, God, here is the thing. Show me. One of the things I will tell you, here's the secret sauce. Start looking at your life over the past few years. Start looking at the things that you've always done. I've always talked to people about their purpose. I've been doing this forever. I remember standing on the porch, it's coming back to my remembrance right now, at the age of like 9 or 10, with like my cousin and a couple of friends from the block. And you know what we were talking about? So what you gonna be when you grow up? And I said, oh, I had this big plastic crayon in my hand. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna be a poker. And I just started poking everybody on the porch. And they laughed. But what it's saying to me right now is that I poke those sore places, those pain points, to make people rise up and get into their rightful places. They laughed and was like, you crazy. That's nasty. What are you talking about? But at this point, I get it now. Because when I did that to everybody, I poked them with this big plastic crayon. Y'all remember the carnivals or whatever yeah. And I went to the carnival, I had that, whatever. And I poked everybody with it. But the truth of the matter is I'm a igniter. I'm going to ignite that fire in you. That's why I'm the burnout coach, is what I do. I need to poke that pain point this morning. I need to trigger something on the inside to make you get back up again. And I got only 4 more minutes. Shut down the noise. That's number 1. Get you some new friends. For some of y'all got some of the most toxic people in your life. They're talking about nothing at all. They have no goals, no vision. All right. And I know y'all probably saying that scripture in your head about vision. I get it. Yes, they have no vision, no plans, no goals, or their goals is like getting a Birkin bag, trying to get a Gucci, trying to get a car, trying to get money. What are your goals? My goal is I want to help 100 families to be better than they were yesterday. Is money going to come with that? Maybe. Am I going to be able to say, just write the check? Yeah. But what I'm saying to you is these are my goals. Isn't, I just, I want to make this much money. No, my goals is I want to help 100 families this month. That's my goal. How do I want to help them? I want to help the parents of the children. I want to help them to develop as a person. I want to help them to realize who they are. I want to help them to identify their purpose. I want to show them that there's a stream of income in their hands, that even though they may have a full-time job, they can still bake cakes on the side, right? They can still have a catering business. They can still clean cars. They can still have a detail business on the side. I want to be able to teach them that, because I want to pull out that side hustle that's on the inside of them and help them create the plan and show them how to execute it by linking them up with my friends that can do business plans, LLCs, S Corps, those things. That's what I'm talking about. I don't have time to play with y'all when I wake up at 8 a.m. or when I'm up on a Sunday at 9 p.m. when I'm on a consult call, because your life depends on it. I have a mandate. I get that I'm a preacher. Yes, I'm going to always preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'm going to always open up my mouth and prophesy whatever it is he says, speak. I'm going to always walk in the righteousness of God. And then, yes, I have flaws. Yes, I make mistakes. No, I'm not proud of everything I've done. But the one thing I'm going to make sure I do is stay connected and true to my call. But the only way you can do that is if you know who you are. Some of you need to, like I said, shut the noise down, get some new friends. Some of y'all friends talking about nothing. They just want to go out. Girl, you want to the party next week? I'm about to do it. Listen, I got friends in my life. When I talk to them, I'm like, yo, what happened with that product you was about to drop? My friends call me. My sister called me just last week, if you saw my Facebook post. And she said to me, listen, yo, this is your lane. Like, what's up? Are you about to create this class on blah, blah, blah? And I was like, get off my phone. But those are the type of people I surround myself around, and they're surrounded around me. I don't do law of attraction. I don't do all of that stuff because that's not of God. But what I do is the ability to discern spirits, because that's a gift God gave me. What I do is I try to spirit by the spirit to see if it's of God. What I do is I pray. What I do is I fast. What I do is get in the presence and in the face of God to find out what the heck when stuff feel like it's going left. The other piece that I need for you to do is when you sit down and you get into that place when you're seeking God's face, grab your notebook and grab your pen. Y'all know I say this all the time because I'm like, write this down. You need that because I promise you, when that flow starts coming, when you see that God starts speaking, you need to be able to start writing stuff down. I'll never forget, and I told y'all this last week, I was sitting there and I was fasting and praying, and I got 1 minute. And I'm in tears, right? God started giving me the formula to my academy. This is what you teach. Because I deal with the inner core of a person. I deal with helping a person develop. I deal with them learning their identity, understanding who they are, their purpose, pretty much, so they can get on the right track of going into their destiny. I always say this to people, and I'll say this to you, and I'm about to get off of here. I can't guarantee you millions, $1,000 a day and all of that with the product you sell. But I guarantee you this, that I can help you get your mind right, that I can help you identify your purpose, that I can pretty much identify that second stream, that first stream, whatever stream of income is in your hands, your occupational purpose. I'm about 95 to 100% sure that I can do that for the people that have a hunger for it. Now, I'm going to tell you, people I don't work with is people that know everything. People I don't work with is people that, got all of these excuses about why they can't. Because by the time you get done dealing with me on your can't, either I'm about to hang up or leave the meeting, or we're going to have a different conversation about why you keep telling me you can't, because I'm about to get to the root of that thing. And now we're about to take a turn because I'm going to uproot this foolishness that's been a generational curse forever. Some of you guys are sitting here in darkness and sad and depressed because you're in a lane that you're not supposed to be in. Stop letting people throw you in places and build you to who they want you to be. Now, everybody isn't bad. Not all people are bad. Some people see who you are and they want to help you to be greater and get to the place where you need to be. But then there are some people who see who you are and they want you to stay in that ugly, dead place. So March Academy is open. The enrollment is up and going. I'll post the link if you dare, but I'm only taking 10 people, period. I was going to open it up to more, but I'm only taking 10 people because I'm getting down to the nitty gritty of it all. I'm digging deep along with my friends. And then we go into the side hustle. But first we got to dig deep. Because entrepreneurship is not for everybody. And if your mind not right, I promise you, your business is going to be ugly. I've seen it because I watch it all the time. But anyway, I'm LN Riggs, the Burnout Coach. Thank you for listening to me this morning. I hope that you continue to come back and hear me on Sunday nights at 9 p.m. or sometimes on Mondays at 8 a.m. And I may just drop a couple lives throughout the week. It just all depends. If you have not already signed up to be on my text message, if you're not getting text messages from me, then what I need to do is make sure that you have my number so you can text me, because I do send out motivational messages on Monday, all right, to help you get up like that fire and get your butt going. I'll talk to y'all later. I'm out.